In this video, I'm going to be drafting an off-shoulder sleeve and then turn it into a rose off-shoulder sleeve, as you can see. So if you are interested in it, kindly watch till the end. I'm going to be using this brown paper for the tutorials, that is to draft the off-shoulder. So I folded it into two, and the next thing I'll be doing is to put in my sleeve length, which is 8 inches. I'll be adding extra 1 inch for folding. It's optional, you can add ½ inch. It will still be okay. So after marking the 8 inches plus 1 inch for folding, I'm going to be connecting the points together. Next thing I'll be doing is to mark ½ inch at the upper part as well, because I'll be stitching that part as well, and I need only ½ inch for turning or folding. Next thing I'll be doing is to mark 4 inches from the height of the sleeve, that point. You can either use 5 inches or 4.5 inches. It will still work. So I'm using 4.5 inches at that point, and then I'll be connecting the points together as well. Next thing I'll be doing after that is to put in my around sleeve measurement or my around arm measurement. I'll be using 7 inches, which is 14 inches divided by 2. So that is my 7 inches, and then I'll come down to the lower part and then just reduce 1 inch from it, making it 6 inches. Then I'll be marking that same 6 inches on the folding line and connect the points together this way. Next thing I'll be doing is to take my bodice block. So with the off shoulder, you are going to decide how long you want the off shoulder to be or how short you want it to be. So I am using 5 inches. I'm going to be taking 5 inches off the shoulder. So that is what I am marking over there. So after marking, I'll connect it into a straight line to show you what I have. That means that 5 inches will be cut off from the bodice, which is the off-shoulder blouse. So after marking that 5 inches, I'm going to be repeating that 5 inches on the shoulder line at that point. So that is where the 5 inches is going to be. So at that point, I'm going to mark in 5 inches in. Note, if you reduce 4 inches or 3 inches, you are going to be marking the 3 or 4 inches you took off. I took off 5 inches. That is why I measured 5. So I realized my lines weren't clear. That's why I used the marker to make it more visible. So I'm remarking the 5 inches over there. Next thing I'm going to be doing after that is to put in or add ½ inch to that point, because I'll be stitching. You can either add ½ inch or 1 inch. I think 1 inch is too big because I'll be stitching just ½ inch. And then on the side, I'll be putting just 1 inch at the side, but to be on the safe side, use 1.5 inches. Next thing I'll be doing is to connect the points together. After that, I'm going to be joining from that point to that point as well. I'm using this curve because it works perfectly for me. Next thing I'll be doing is to label the parts. So that is the shoulder, round sleeve or around arm, the sleeve length, and then the folding allowance. So that is all, and then that is 1 inch for the side seam as well. Next thing I'll be doing is to cut it off. After cutting it off, I'm going to open it up, and you see that center line or the middle line over there. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it to the end. Make sure you don't cut it off. So this is what I mean. Next thing I'll be doing is to lay my fabric, and then you are going to look for the corner of the fabric, that part, and then I'm going to be opening up the sleeve this way. Make sure the space in between is even. So this is how you are going to do it. Take your time and then get the right spots for it. So after being convinced you have the same size at both ends, all you have to do is to draw in what I have just drawn in. Just make that mark over there, because you are going to hold that to sew the sleeve. So after that, I went ahead to cut out from the fabric, and then this is what I have. So I'm going to be pinning the line I just drew in so that I can copy it to the back of the lining. So I'm cutting 2 at a time. That is the main sleeve and then what I'll be using for the lining. So after that, I just went ahead to use my chalk to mark so that I know where I'll be drawing my lines. After that, I went ahead to use my ruler to draw in the lines properly. So this is what I have. Next thing I'll be doing is to cut off that side since it is on fold. And after that, I'll just open it up to show you what I have. So like I said, I have 2 at the moment. I'm going to be picking it up this way from the corner, and then I'm going to be holding the other corner as well. So just like this, I'm going to be pinning. Make sure the lines are meeting on both sides before you pin. So I'm going to be pinning that side and then the edge or the other part as well. So after pinning, I'll take it to the machine and then stitch that part. I'll be repeating the same step on the lining as well. Next thing I'll be doing is to take it to my machine and then stitch. So you are stitching to that line where the line ends. That is where you are stitching to. So I'll be doing same on the lining as well. Next thing I'll be doing is to take off my pins and then join the shoulder or the upper part of the sleeves together. So with right side facing each other, just pin them like you see me doing. So after pinning the upper part, next thing I'm going to be doing is to pin the lower part as well. I'm going to be pinning the lower parts as well. Make sure the seams are meeting before you pin. Make sure the seams are meeting before you pin. Otherwise, one part will be longer than the other. So like I said, make sure the seams are meeting before you pin. This is where the seams meet. That's where I pinned last to make sure it is correct. So after that, I'm sewing the lower parts down before I stitch the upper parts. You can actually start with the upper parts wherever you want to stitch. Just go ahead and stitch. It will still turn out the same way. So after stitching, next thing I'm going to be doing is to turn it out to show you what I have. So after turning it out, you're going to get something like this. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the sides together. I'm going to open up the seams and then stitch. After stitching, you're going to be getting something like this. So the side is also neatly finished. Next thing I'm going to be doing now is to create the rose in the sleeve. So I'm going to take it this way and then just put my hand inside, and then I'm going to be just folding it in bit by bit like this. So that is basically what you are going to do. Just put your hand inside and then be pulling it back this way. So you get the desired shape you want. So like I said, I just destroyed the first one and I'm doing another one just to be sure I'm getting the right thing. So I realized when I stitched the side, folding it in was a bit difficult. So I went ahead to unpick the sides at the moment so that when I finally get it right, I'll go ahead and then stitch that part. So like I said, this sleeve needs patience. So when you get to take your time and then draw in the rows the way you want it. So you take your time and then do it. Take your time. You can do it about 3 or 4 times before you get it right. So just take your time and do it. And then the fabric also counts. If you are using a thicker fabric, I think it comes out nicer than when you use a lighter fabric for this. I don't know, but that is what I think. So after that, I went ahead to tack it down. When tacking, make sure the thread is not showing. So you're tacking it because you don't want it to come off when you wear it. So make sure you tack it down and then make sure the thread is not showing. So after getting it right, now I'm going to join the sides together like I said earlier. So open up the seams this way and then pin that part. We added 1 inch to the side, so I'm going ahead to sew that 1 inch at the side. It's always advisable to pin so that you get it right. So I went ahead to stitch that 1 inch, and then this is what I have. So that is the upper part and that is the armhole. So this is what I have. Like I said, you can shape it into any form you want. So you play with it till you get it right. So this is how it looks when you wear it, and then that is all for the tutorials. Thanks for watching. See you another time. Bye.